Going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Stranger Days. And you know, one of the crappiest things about being a man in current year, 2018, current times, is that literally anything you're into, doesn't matter what it is, anything you're into, any hobby you might have, comes across or is deemed sexist, misogynistic, bigoted, homophobic, terrible. You are a bad person for being a man and literally liking anything. And if you think I'm kidding, I want you to go back and look at some of the content on this channel showcasing times where this has happened, not only on my channel, but many other people's channels as well. And then I want you to take a look at this article because apparently, because I'm a 36-year-old man who enjoys video games, a rather isolating experience that I put myself into, that I use for relaxation and to get good stories and to just enjoy some quiet time before I go to bed, means that I'm being harmful to women and LGBT people. I really wish this is not the case, but according to a new academic study, they claim video games harm women and LGBT people with, and I'm quoting here, techno masculinity. Techno masculinity. Okay. So techno masculinity is a sign that you as a man like playing video games and doing other manly things with tech. I mean, God forbid that your parents introduced you to a computer or a device for entertainment purposes gained through the electronic function held within circuit boards and things. The joke's dead. But the point is, God forbid you were raised on enjoying technology that we as a culture use every single day. Technology I use to put together this stream. Do you think this is just me talking into a webcam? No, I got a nice camera, a nice microphone, multiple monitors here, multiple lights. It's a set of all technology. Does that mean that I'm a techno-masculinist? Because I've spent the money, my earned income off of doing this as a job to better my gear? Yes, it does, if you believe this study. Now, it says here, an academic study published by a University of Idaho associate professor claims that video games and the gaming industry perpetuate techno-masculinity, which is potentially harmful to women and LGBTQ people. Okay, let's just be fair about this, for example. For one, how many times over the course of the past couple of years have we heard similar arguments, right? The gaming community is not inclusive to the LGBT community. Not at all. Okay, guys? Like, not at all. They hate it. Okay? This character is not gay enough. That's hatred. Like, or they put gay characters on a pedestal and they overmarket them as a way to delineate from any type of character exposition. Dorian from Dragon Age Inquisition is a fine example of that. Dorian is a well-written, badass character who I loved, but going into the game itself, leading into the promotion, you had the guy who was the creative director on the game going like, have you heard about Dorian? Loves the cock. Just, mwah. Loves it constantly, non-stop for months, taking away from just his right as a character to exist, and that being part of who he is, not all of who he is. Kind of weird how that works out, right? When it's progressive, it's usually overdone to the point of just annoyance, and if it's not included, you're a terrible, horrible bigot. Anyway, Robin Johnson, the director of the School of Journalism and Mass Communications at the University of Idaho, interviewed 20 game developers for his study, which asserts that techno-masculinity associates men with advanced computer proficiency and is one part of a structure of hegemonic masculinity. All right, so okay. What we got here is we've got techno-masculinity associates men with advanced computer proficiency and one that is part of a structure of hegemonic masculinity. So a director in the School of Journalism and Media Communications sits there and says that men who grew up with computers might have a better edge on that than women and LGBT people. It's so dumb, guys. So dumb. But Johnson goes on to try to defend himself. Now, in an interview with PJ Media, Johnson described technomasculinity as an expression of masculinity that is oriented towards the mastery of technology and skilled use of technological tools and systems. Okay, so I have a skilled, proficient use of Pornhub. That is a technology, whether you want to admit it or not. Video streaming platforms on the internet that uses as much bandwidth and as much space as Pornhub does to navigate the constant algorithmic changes that litters the front page with really weird shit that I didn't look up. I know they're suggesting it to me based upon my interests, but quite frankly, no, stop it. I'm not into interracial incest porn. I'm just not. Please stop recommending it to me, Pornhub. I can't turn that off either. It's just always there. It's like white chicks, black dicks. Stop it. I don't want to see that. The point is, it's not what gets me off. I'm just saying. I'm being honest. I'm communicating. But by being proficient in using anything that's that's technology based, I'm a bigot. I'm a sexist. I'm a misogynist. Never mind the fact that like I spent time, I went to school to learn how to do all of this. That means me being proficient in my job, content notwithstanding, is it makes me a bad person as a result. What kind of nonsense is that? What kind of absolute utter garbage nonsense is that? But that's the world we live in. Again, always attacking young men and young boys, always attacking them, always saying they're the problems. It's just ridiculous stuff here. Now, he went on to explain that gender is socially organized in the West as in a hierarchized binary, differentiating men and women along supposed natural or biological masculine and feminine traits, and that the association between technology, masculinity, and what we think of as skilled work is still fundamental to the gender division of labor. Is it? I mean, really, truthfully, okay, let's break down the concept of STEM, of the STEM field and STEM degrees and STEM jobs, okay? 75% of all STEM-related degrees go to men. 25% go to women in those fields. 75% of STEM jobs effectively belong to men, 25% to women. So people argue about the diversity. They argue about representation. They argue about equality. But if you look at the source of where things are coming from, what they're really recommending is a lopsided shift. Well, 25% of degrees go to women. 50% of the jobs should go to women. That's not how this stuff plays out. And it's not to say that women don't use technology. Women use technology. What kind of bigoted, misogynistic statement is that to say that women don't use technology or are not as gifted in it? I think that's a load of crap. I think that, once again, is just trying to target a narrative. I think you had a thesis in your head, a conclusion in your head, and so you twisted and manipulated a thesis in order to come to those conclusions. And I think anyone out there who is of age, let's say of millennial age, of mid-level age, whatever, in their 20s and 30s, men or women, are going to have a fundamental understanding of technology, whether it's computers, televisions, cameras, phones, etc. But you want to talk about how this stuff might impact, the genders. Well, why not take a quick look at the actual breakdown of degrees amongst men and women? 2/3 of college graduates are female, 1/3 male. 2/3. And that is, again, the same statistic that goes towards the people attending college. 2/3 female, 1 male. Is that equality? Where's those conversations at? Now, why is it that those 2/3 of women who are going to college not graduating with STEM degrees, therefore shifting that particular statistic to more of one that is either equal or, because of the just a general attendance rate, becoming the majority? Oh, that's right. They don't want to. You can lead a horse to water. You can't make them drink. And I'm not sitting there and berating women for not going after STEM degrees. I'm not like that. I'm not Anita Sarkeesian. What I'm saying here is that it boils down to the fact that people are free to pursue the careers that they want. And you're basically lambasting men for going after stuff that requires skilled work and technology. Technology is what drives us. It's driven us for forever. The advancement of where we sit is always what's pushed us forward. Look at, Jesus fucking Christ. It's like, this hurts my brain, guys. You have to understand, this hurts my brain. And it goes on. The study is included in a larger series of essays entitled Masculinity in Play, which endeavors to address the persistent and frequently toxic associations between masculinity and games, and to explore many of the critical issues in contemporary studies of masculinity, including the issues of fatherhood and homoeroticism, esports, fan cultures, and militarism. and their interactions or intersections with digital games, the contexts of their play, and the social futures associated with sustained involvement in gaming cultures. Basically, if you're a, they want to talk about masculinity and gameplay. Why? Because men play games overwhelmingly more often than women. Notice how they like when they say digital games, they're referring to mobile games. The mobile market is where women outshine men by a large margin. Women absolutely outshine men. You know why? It's because they're more proficient in this than I am. 100%. Oh, does that mean that I can go up to my sister, who is probably better at her phone than I am at mine, and go, well, you're just a bigot. Toxic femininity. What nonsense is that? What stupidity is that? What laziness is that? This is the world we're living in, where we're going after people for trying to get to go after a trade, to learn a trade, and to go into a field that pays well. Oh, Lordy, God forbid they go and want to get a job that pays good money. Oh, the bastards, the terrible garbage people. But this is the world that Robin Johnson, director of the School of Journalism and Mass Communications at the University of Idaho, pushes to his students. You don't deserve a teaching job if this is the nonsense you're going to push. This is the nonsense you're going to peddle. Stop lying to your students and actually teach them about the fundamentals of where the world is. That's a much better course of action, and one that might actually open the door to getting more women to go into STEM. Instead of trying to shame men and boys out of going into the field in order to shift the balance one direction, why not try teaching them that anyone can go and seek it, and that yes, it requires hard work and skill, but it's not out of the realm of possibility, and you can also get there and make a lot of money in the process. Look for a solution rather than shaming someone into not following a career path that they like simply because their father or their brother or whatever introduced them to gaming at a younger age. That is ridiculous. That is, it's a fallacy. It's crap. It's just crap. It's bullshit. And I have no problem calling it out because that's exactly what this kind of stuff is. You want to talk about equality? Actually preach it. Don't cause division. Don't be a fucking simpleton, because that's exactly what you're being right now. All right. You're an NPC at this point. You're just a fucking NPC. Anyway, what do you guys think about this? Let me know down in the comments below. If you made it this far, oh God, I don't know what to put in the chat. Type kill me in the chat. How about that? That's what I feel like right now. Anyway, no, don't do that. Just type technomasculinity if you can type it out. Anyway, I'll talk to you. Sure to thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, check back often for more content from me. My name's of course Matt Jarbo. This has been Stranger Days. If you do want to support the channel, you can always do that by turning off
None of that pesky ad block.